Okay, so a couple of y'all have been asking me what kind of exhaust I have on my car. Figured I'd make a video of it. Hopefully you guys like that little bit of intro. It was pretty fun to film. But anyways, the Mercedes, the exhaust is pretty simple. I didn't go out and buy an exhaust. I didn't know how loud this car was gonna be. So I figured I'd kind of do it cheap or on a budget to see how it sounded to begin with. And then if I liked it, I can upgrade to a system or something like that. So let me show you what I did. Basically removed the mufflers and the resonators. Let me just show you. So up here I have the mufflers. So basically there's two of these that come off the car, one on each side of course. And these are the main mufflers. They weigh a ton and they're massive. Like, I didn't want a huge hunk of metal this big to be in the car, you know what I'm saying? So I had two of these removed. It's pretty simple. You just take them, disconnect them off of these little like, I don't even know what they're called. It's the one that fit into like the rubber fittings and they're like a pain in the butt to get off. Basically you remove those and then this tip feeds out right to the factory tip. So there's not much you really have to do. And we just cut this out with a, what's it called? We cut it out with a Sawzall and then replaced a straight pipe right in here. And I'll show you guys under the car. Not only did we remove these, but we also removed this resonator. This thing weighs even more than the muffler. I don't know what this is actually made of. I think it's just a bunch of steel. But we took this thing out of the car as well. And this actually made it a lot louder too. I was surprised on how much more sound I got out of it with removing this. So first I took off the mufflers. Sounded good, but still wasn't that loud. I wanted to hear like that AMG rasp. And so I decided to take these off. This was a little bit more difficult to do, but I did it right here in the garage. It wasn't very difficult. Let me show you what I chopped off and what I welded in. All right, so taking a look underneath the car. So we got one tip there and then one tip there on both sides, right? So the mufflers sit right in here in this area. And so we had to custom make this little bracket, but basically this is the straight pipe running underneath the car to replace the mufflers. We just shoved the end right into here. We bent the tip just a little bit like how it was factory. But yeah, we got a straight pipe down here. This straight pipe connects all the way up there to where the resonator was. And then we also have another one over there on that side as well. And so for the resonator, let's see if I can get under here. Oh God, I'm just rolling around the floor like usual. Okay, so for the resonator, I didn't want to jack the car up, so sorry. Anyways, the resonator, Arizona, can you move? I'm not sure how well y'all can see, but the resonator usually sits right there. Basically all I did was disconnect the pipes with the little V-band clips. Disconnect that up front, and then I went down to the other side, chopped it off. Then I cut off the pieces from one side with the flange, welded it onto a straight pipe, and then just welded that pipe straight over there. And then now we have a straight pipe section for the resonators as well. So pretty simple process, pretty straightforward. If you want to do this yourself, you can definitely do this yourself. As long as you have a welder or, well, a welder and a Sawzall or a grinder or something to chop that exhaust off, it's really not too difficult. If you're going to do it, I'd start with the mufflers, take those off and see how you like it. It's still pretty loud without the mufflers. And then like I was saying with the resonators, as long as you chop off the connections for the V-band and then just weld that back onto the straight pipe, you should be good to go. I think this exhaust sounds great. I don't really plan on doing anything differently in the future. I don't know. I think it's always fun just to straight pipe your cars and not have like a really expensive kit on or like a muffler system. It's just more like what I used to do when I was a kid, and oh man, I just think it's fun. I remember the first car I had, I chopped off the exhaust with my dad and we put in cherry bombs, which you can get from like AutoZone. So that was like the first ever exhaust that I did. And this is kind of similar to that, you know? But it didn't sound nearly as good as this, but it was still pretty cool. So in case you guys were wondering, I know this was a short little video. I just wanted to touch base on what my exhaust was. Hopefully you guys like the sound of it. I think it sounds fantastic. And total price, if you went to the shop and had this done, they're probably going to charge you like 90 bucks to take off the exhaust in the back. And then maybe another 90 to do the resonators. I took it to the shop to get the exhaust in the rear taken off and then welded in. I should have did it myself, but I just didn't have the machine to bend the pipe because I know it was gonna have like a little bend, so I was like, screw it. I might as well just take it in and get that done. And then the resonators I did myself. I don't know, I don't think I have my welder here with me right now, but I have just like, it's nothing too expensive. It's just like a small little MIG welder, I think. And yeah, pretty simple. Just make sure you get a full entire weld all the way around. If you guys don't know to weld or don't know how to weld, I'm just taking it into the shop. It's not too expensive. Definitely beats spending like $2,000 on a exhaust. Those probably sound way better, but I mean, you know, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.